Welcome to India Lingua News. Our guests today are Vivek and Pallavi Arora. They are co-chairs of AIF annual Gala this year. They are relatively new to Boston area for the last 4 years, 5 years or so, 5 years, almost here. And so we are very excited to talk to them about AIF, that what attracted them to join AIF and take a leadership position as a co-chair of the Gala this year. And also, both of them have background working at McKinsey. Also, Pallavi has started her own firm called SETU. We'll dip into that as well. Vivek, welcome to our studio.
Thank you so much.
Pallavi, welcome here.
Thank you. So nice.
This is the first time here, so welcome again, and really looking forward to chatting with you.
Absolutely.
So now, you both of you are co-chairs of AIF annual Gala, which is a fantastic event in the community. Everybody wants to come, attend, great networking opportunity.
Exactly.
And this also marks the 20th anniversary of the Gala. So let me start with you, Pallavi. What is special going to happen for the 20th anniversary?
So as you know, it is the 20th celebration. So it's a big year. Last year, one of our honorees actually said that it was the party of the year. So we hope we can live up to that comment again. But really, we want to make it, of course, showcase the 20 years of the chapter and how special it has been. So a lot of celebration. We're going to make this, hope to make this gala more interactive. And we hope that more and more young people from the community are also going to attend this event. Of course, there is a very special food curation that we've done this year. And food's going to be presented in a very special way. And we hope that it represents all parts of India, which is the reach of AIF. And so we hope to be able to depict that. Vivek, you want to add?
Actually, I have one question for you. Yes. I'm going to ask him now.
Sure.
So I have personally attended each and every Gala of AIF of all these years. And I have not missed anyone.
That's great.
And mostly I've also interviewed most of the Gala chairs. Now I feel that this time both of you are the youngest co-chairs of the AIF Gala, okay?
Yes.
So I want to focus a little bit, Vivek, with you on that youth factor, that what really made you attracted to AIF.
So I think there were, of course, a lot of things which attracted us towards AIF. We were introduced to this amazing community by Nav and Nitya. As you know, Nav has also spent a large part of his life with McKinsey. He, of course, is retired now, has been an amazing mentor to me. So what attracted us to AIF was, I think, first of all, the amazing mission and the impact it's had on the community. They are very humble. They, of course, don't speak about it a lot, but they have done so much work for the community, even during COVID times. And then through that community, the people that we met were actually very amazing, very like-minded, very successful, and yet very humble. So we had an instant connection with the community and the overall mission of the organization. So of course, that's how we got involved. But actually, what's kept us here and also then now inspired us to take on this position is that this challenge which was thrown to us, as you said, clearly we have been the youngest on the board.
Sure.
The youngest
co-chairs, I should say.
Yes, of course, the youngest coaches as well. So the challenge that was given to us was, hey, how can we engage with and mobilize the Indian youth in New England? As we all know, with the economic growth of New England, especially Boston, Massachusetts, there has been an influx of so many young Indians who are doing so well in health tech, biotech, overall technology in the industry, right? So there are so many of us who are there, but, we don't see them as engaged, as involved with AIF. So that's the challenge that we have taken on. How can we get more and more of the youth, the Indian youth in the region involved with AIF as well?
And when you were in India, so which year did you move, both of you moved here?
We've moved a few times to the Boston area, but our last stint started in 2019.
2019,
right.
Okay. Yeah. So now when you were, both of you were in India working there, you also worked for McKinsey there as well, right? So were you familiar with AIF there in India or no?
So definitely one had heard of the American Indian Foundation, the impact that the organization had during the Bhuj earthquake was very well known.
That's how it is started.
And that's how it was known. Association of President Vajpayee and President Clinton and the fact that
Prime Minister Vajpayee.
Prime Minister Vajpayee and President Clinton was a very well-known fact.
Sure.
So we were aware of AIF but of course we definitely got involved when we actually moved here.
Okay. So now, 4 years, it doesn't seem that long time here to make this connection because, if you look in the previous history of AIF, all these pillars of the community have been part of that. So my question to you is that, how you're going to deal with this challenge of recruiting all these people here.
No, so I think, thanks to our professional communities as well as where we live in Newton and just, sort of a lot of our social professional networks, we know ourselves, so many young Indian Americans who are in New England, right? So, and I'm sure the same is true for all our board members as well in their personal network, in their organizations, right? So I think we just have to be proactive in reaching out. Two, we have to create a little bit of a pull through our Gala, through some of the other community engagement activities that we do so as to attract the youth. But I think we feel that it's not going to be as big of a challenge, especially given the organization that AIF is. Like, for example, we had only, from our side, some 20 young Indian Americans who were there at the Gala, right? So if everybody starts contributing, I think.
So now we will tell us a little bit about your background. Like, where did you go to school and how come you are here?
So
what brought you here?
So to answer your question directly, what brought me here was, of course, my work and my passion for the life sciences industry and the broader healthcare sector. Just going back, I've been born and brought up in Delhi. I went to school there. I did my engineering from IIT Kanpur. I worked with ITC, which is one of India's largest consumer good companies. From there, I did my MBA at Indian School of Business, Hyderabad. So, of course, consulting was a big attraction for me. So, and I was lucky to be picked up by McKinsey coming out of ISBs. So I worked with them. As Pallavi said, we had moved to Boston earlier as well in 2013, 2014. There was an opportunity to spend a couple of years as a short-term transfer. We, of course, chose to go back at that point of time, but we enjoyed our life here. We enjoyed our experience here. And through my work as well, I always worked with the healthcare industry, life sciences industry.
And for the healthcare life sciences, you have to be in Boston.
You have to be in Boston, right? There is so much innovation which is happening over there. So then in 2019, early 2019, when I made partner, it gave me an opportunity to again experiment, explore, do something new with life. So, and Pallavi was supportive and excited as well.
So when Pallavi, you also came with the McKinsey or?
So I was on a maternity leave, extended maternity leave, but I rejoined McKinsey here. I was part of the recruiting team in the Northeast region here. So yes.
And now you have started your own company.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. As you know, so I actually started my career as a journalist.
Okay, tell me about that.
So I graduated from LSR in journalism and in Delhi, and then I worked as a journalist for a couple of years with Times of India and India Today. I used to cover education as my primary beat.
So I started my career with the Hindustan Times.
Oh, amazing!
Delhi,
It's a small journalistic community, right?
Sure.
So yes, I had an amazing stint. Writing is still my passion, always has been. And then when I joined McKinsey and I was part of the recruiting team in India, it was a great stint. McKinsey has been, was my professional home for several years. And last year I decided to branch out and do something of my own. And I've always been very passionate about building the US-India talent corridor. India is such a great, amazing growth story. And so SETU Executive Search, which is my new...
That's a nice, beautiful name, SETU.
Yes, thank you. Bridge. Right, SETU means a bridge. And what SETU aims to do is to help bridge this talent gap in the US-India corridor. So a lot of Indian companies are expanding in the US, looking for talent and navigating the talent market.
So your company is going to focus basically on talent, recruitment and talent.
Yes, that's been my forte for the last.
Now, is your company self-funded or you have venture?
For now, it's self-funded.
For now, self-funded.
Yes.
Okay. And what are your growth plans? How big you want to grow, and what are your scale-up plan? Or you want to keep it small?
No, I definitely want to grow it. I think this is this is a premise that needs to be grow, and a lot of conversation about this topic needs to happen. India is such a strong growth story at this point, and I think just as we give back to India through AIF and other philanthropic organizations, I think it also is great to give back to India with our talent needs, whether it is American talent that can be sourced for Indian companies, or whether it is Indian American talent that can work with Indian companies back in India.
Now, Vivek, so what this year we should expect something totally spectacular, different, no pressure at the AIF Gala.
Yeah. No, so I think first thing is that our galas have been so special over the years, right? There is a very rich legacy and so many things which are amazing about the gala. So one of the big responsibilities is to also preserve that, right? So of course we'll do a lot of things in the same way that have happened and worked for us in the past. However, there are few new things that we are going to do this time. I'll just name a few. First of all, we have an amazing professional event and entertainment planned. We have an amazing honoree. He's Naveen Vadera. He's the MD in T Associates, has a long, rich history of contributing to the Indian society as well as to AIF here in New England. Then, as Pallavi said earlier, we are going to try to make this gala a lot more engaging. We have such an amazing audience, right? So I think it's great to engage. And then two more things. We have some amazing food planned. The food, I won't give out too much at this point of time, but I'll just say that it's going to be reflective of the rich Indian food heritage from all parts of the country. And lastly, we are going to have some fun. We expect to have
the fun is always part fun and the networking.
Yes,
I think these are the two great aspects.
Those are things that we preserve, but we will add a little bit more fun this time. And I'll just keep it to that right now and not give up more details.
Now, before I let you go, I have to do this experiment with both of you. Please. I want you to ask one question to Vivek, and I want Vivek to ask one question to you about the planning of the AIF 20th anniversary.
Okay, Vivek can go first.
Asking you a question?
Okay.
So Pallavi, this time, what's the one thing you are most excited about in the gala?
Food is my love language, so I'm most excited about the food.
Expecting that.
But I think people make the party, right? So if this is going to be a celebration, this is going to be, again, a showcase of the impact that AIF has made this year. Our stories always inspire people. It inspired us to join, and we hope that it inspires more young people, who show up.
Okay, now your turn.
Vivek, what do you think should be our fundraising ambition, or how can we kind
That's a great question.
I know you wanted to ask that.
I wanted to ask that, but I'm glad you asked it. Yes.
So I think I'll avoid going into numbers, but our plan this time is, given the fact that this is our 20th year celebration, we want to exceed all our past performances when it comes to fundraising by a margin. And hence my request to the entire Indian American community in New England is to please show up in good numbers and please open up your wallets and contribute to the country. We are doing great, but I think all your contributions can actually help us get even greater over the next few years.
So now, in the last 20 years, as far as my numbers are concerned, I think in the last 20 years, AIF have raised about $20 million. It has average, if you go average about $1 million. Sometimes, some years it is more, sometimes it is less, but that's.
And if you add the contributions made during COVID, I guess it would actually exceed that.
Absolutely.
But I think outside of that,
the outside that is that.
Yes.
Now, before I let you go, your last word on AIF Gala.
Yeah. So AIF Gala, I think as Upen was saying, is the best such event that we have in the region. This time we are trying our best to actually make it even better, even more engaging, even more fun. So I request you all to please attend and invite more people. We'll be happy to, of course, see you and as many young American Indians or young Indian Americans that we can get. I think that'll be great. And we'll all have fun and party together.
And your last word.
Yeah. I just want to say that look forward to seeing everyone on May 11th. You also should follow and share our social media campaign that we've been running on LinkedIn, Facebook. Do subscribe or add to the AIF New England chapter page on Facebook, LinkedIn, all of our professional networks. We share our messages through posts that I make and lots of other members make. So please share as much as possible.
Okay. Actually, I just wanted to, sorry to interrupt you, but I have seen some real uptick in the LinkedIn activity of AIF.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Which I had not seen before. So actually, I was pleasantly surprised that, what the hell AIF is doing on the LinkedIn, but that was great. I'm really glad that and I was able to notice that.
Yeah, I think I strongly believe that, there is so much power in the networks, in the collective networks that we have. And LinkedIn just helps us with, or any social media platform just helps us communicate what we are trying to do to like-minded people like us. So, which is why we've sort of made sure that we use these channels to communicate.
Vivek, thank you so much for coming. I really enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you, Pallavi, so much.
Thank you for having us.
And all the best for the gala. I'm sure I will be there and joining you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.